Over the weekend, Donald Trump posted an AI image of himself in front of the city of Chicago with it on fire in the background, warplanes, helicopters moving in on it to insinuate that he wants to go to war with the city of Chicago because he's been threatening to send the National Guard here for a couple of weeks. And then he pretty quickly said, no, I don't want to go to war with Chicago. That's not what that photo meant. I don't know what else it could have meant. The picture, along with the fact that he's been talking about sending the military to occupy our city for like 2 weeks now, that's a threat. It comes off as a threat, right? He's not just sending the National Guard here. He's also sending huge amounts of immigration enforcement to Chicago to terrorize immigrants that live here. And that's what he talks about mostly when he talks about Chicago, is Chicago being a sanctuary city and also talking about Chicago's crime rate. He says Chicago's so unsafe he has to send the National Guard to defeat crime in Chicago. I will say, Chicago had one of the safest summers on record in decades. But that's kind of besides the point to a certain extent, because the National Guard's not going to stop crime in Chicago. Even if it were bad, they would not come in here and do anything about it. And the reason is because that is not the point of what they're doing. Sending ICE here, sending the National Guard here, it's not to fight crime. It's to scare people. And it's to test what he can get away with in every other American city. Can he deploy the military against his own people? And how he will get away with this is by convincing you that he is just doing this to fight crime or protect the borders or whatever. It's to make people in Chicago or the cities he does this to, who are citizens, have protected legal status, who don't do crime or whatever, feel okay with the military occupying their city because it's not for them. But guess what? It is for you. It's for you too. So falling for his bait in any way would be a huge detriment to yourself. And more importantly, a huge detriment to the people who are in immediate harm's way. Our neighbors, our community members. I live in Chicago. I love Chicago with all my heart. But I've also been an anti-war organizer for a long time. And the way that they talk to you about public safety is kind of the same way they talk to you about global security. All the lies and the hoaxes that get you to buy into what they're selling are very, very similar. They tell you we need to spend more money on war in the Pentagon to keep you safe in the homeland. But really now we're seeing that they're using that money to put their troops on us where we live. But also there's a lot of money to be made in increases to Pentagon spending, and 50% of that money, I'm not exaggerating, 50% goes directly to private contractors whose CEOs and executives get rich off of endless wars. And now they have incentive to boost war spending so they can deploy troops inside the US. That is a scary precedent, that there are people that can make money off of this and have economic incentives to support policies like these. And just like in Florida and all over the country, immigration also is a cash cow because these private contractors are making money off building detention centers for the government, and they have an economic incentive to make sure that those beds are filled so they can build more detention centers and make more money. Chicago, while we're at it, the red line doesn't go all the way south through the south side of Chicago. It doesn't go all the way south. The train that runs from north to south. I'm tired of families feeling like they gotta send their kids to selective enrollment public schools on the north side if they want their kid to get a good education. Public education. Kids should be able to go to school where they live. Tired of potholes. Tired of the bus is not showing up on time. I'm tired of people feeling like they can't get to work on time if they have to take public transit. There are food deserts in Chicago. There are thousands of people who are going to get cut off of food stamps and Medicaid because of Trump's big, beautiful bill. Chicago has a long history of disinvestment, especially in Black and brown communities. The neoliberal policies of the U.S. have absolutely gutted the city's working class. All this money that they will spend on immigration raids that will absolutely terrorize our neighborhoods, and the National Guard to, I don't know what they're going to do, sit on the L or something. All that money, which is a lot of money, could be spent making Chicagoans' lives actually better through investments in housing, healthcare, education, a bunch of shit we need. So Donald Trump might not agree, but Chicago is the best city in the world, and we do have a lot of work to do. It looks like investing in the people, not the police, not the war machine, not immigration raids. Chicago has problems. So does DC. So does every major city in the country. but the best suited people to solve the problems of Chicago are Chicagoans, people who live here. Chicagoans are very resilient people, like being fans of all of our sports teams. So, I think we got it. Get the out of our city.